All right, how's it going, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Forward Thinking Founders, where we talk to founders about their companies, their vision for the future, and how the two collide. Today, I'm very excited to be talking to Joshua Christensen, who's a co-founder of Milestones. Welcome to the show. How's it going?
It's going well. Thanks for having me, Matt.
Yeah, excited to have you on. I'm looking forward to learning more about what you're working on. For those who haven't heard of your company, what is Milestones?
Yeah, Milestones. Our vision is to connect a business's data with their clients seamlessly. And so we do that in a couple of ways. We'll offer them the client an interface so they can look through, and the business decides what data gets exposed to the client. And one of our main features is kind of what we call the Domino's Pizza Tracker, where a client can see the progress of a project that they have with the company and what stages it's in. And the company can customize that in a number of different ways, their own descriptions, FAQs, some video explainers, things like that, so that clients are just kept in the loop every step of the way.
Cool. So, walk me through a little bit of maybe an example. If I was a client and I was on board the product, can you kind of walk me through what my experience would be like if I was to use Milestones?
Sure. So it depends what industry you're in. A lot of our clients are in the legal industry. And so I'll give an example with that because that's where we deal with a lot. So if we sign a legal client, what they do is they'd go into our product and they'd kind of design what their end users or end customers would see. So they'd be able to set up what we call a project type. So if they have multiple different practice areas that like this legal or law firm follows, then they can have a different design for each practice area. So for example, say they have a motor vehicle accident area where if you get in a motor vehicle accident, they'll help you get all your damages and settlement amount for that. So they can set up a project type of motor vehicle accident. They can design the number of phases that they want to send to their clients, and they decide what triggers go to each phase. So our big value add is you as a consumer of Milestones shouldn't have to do any extra work on your part to keep your clients updated and give them this top class experience. So you design it in our system where you say, hey, this when this happens in my CRM, do this in Milestones. Send the update to the client, update their phase, progress that project along. And so that's what you do, right? When you get in our product is you connect to your business's project management software or case management software, whatever you're using. And then you say, hey, when this happens, do these triggers, send updates to my clients, and give them this view. So kind of customizable that way.
I love that. And I feel like this is one of these things, at least from my perspective, that, it took probably a little time thinking through concepts in the market to come up with an idea like this. I think it's pretty unique, although it could be used by so many people, I still haven't heard anything quite like it before. So I'm curious, what's the origin story here? How'd you get the idea for Milestones, and kind of tell me about the origin story of how this all got started?
Yeah, sure. So I actually didn't come up with this idea. I had my co-founders came up with it. So one of them, his name is Manny Griffiths. He worked at a company selling legal software. This company is called Filevine, if you're interested in looking that up. And his customers would repeatedly ask for this feature. And so he's like, oh, maybe we should just develop and design it ourselves. And so that's where I got involved. They asked me to come on, and Manny had personal experience with this. He's been involved in like a legal case where he was hoping to get like status updates and maybe more communication than he got. And so he had personal experience with this and wanting to have this pain resolved. And they approached me. Matt is the other co-founder. He also worked at Filevine. That's where he met Manny. And then Matt moved in next door to my house, and he approached me because he knew I'm the technical founder. So I did software engineering at a number of tech startups, and they approached me, and I turned them down multiple times because I was already working on other side projects. I didn't think the problem was interesting until I started seeing this happen all throughout my life, just little things. Like I filed an insurance claim, and I started thinking, I wish I had something that would just keep me updated on what's happening right now and what's going to happen next, and just answer all these questions. My insurance agent, he was great, but he preferred to call me on the phone, and I couldn't always answer the phone. And so when he'd text, I just had so many questions that like the product that we're building would answer them. So if you can think about it, like anything in your life that has a process, like a set of stages, and you'd like updates on those, that's what we want to tackle. That's what we want to build, and build this network around it so that you have updates for anything that you want updates for. Similar, like your Domino's pizza, your Amazon package, you have those for other things. Why not for like your legal case? When your car's in the shop or changing tires, there's so many insurance claims. I just named a couple, but that's kind of the problem that we're tackling.
I love it. It's so smart. And I love the Domino's pizza tracker kind of analogy. If you were to look out into the future, like 5, 10, 15 years, what do you think this could become? Or in other words, if you hit your vision and it all happens, like what does that look like in a decade or two?
That's a great question. If everything goes right, Matt, this is what we want. We want to be in a bunch of different industries. We just want to take over the market and be kind of the standard way that you will interact with a company or a business. So whether you're working with those examples I provided previously of like you're working with a law firm, an insurance agency, your home builder, your mortgage company, any of those, we envision like you would use our Milestones app to work with them. So this is like a two-way data flow. This actually benefits both parties. It benefits you as the end consumer of working with a construction company that uses Milestones, because now you're getting your standardized updates. You know that you can send documents and message your company through the app. And then the company benefits in the way that they know you're being treated well, you're getting all the updates, and the company doesn't have to do anything to do that. They just connected to Milestones, and then the data just flows between the two because of that initial setup. So that's the dream, is that we're in every industry, every company, anytime you want to interact with another company. And like, say everything goes perfectly well and right, and we just penetrate every industry around the world. We'd hope to build something called like the Milestones Network, where now instead of you looking somewhere else for a service that a company provides, you look in the Milestones Network for that service, because when you do that, you know exactly how you're going to be interacting with the company, and you know the experience you're going to get. So that's the pie in the sky, a two-way marketplace, two-sided marketplace rather.
And in order to make it happen, like you'll need some help, right? It takes a village to make a startup work and scale. So my question for you
Yes.
is, how can the forward-thinking founders community help? Are you hiring, raising money, looking for customers, partners? How can we assist here?
Yeah, all the above, actually. So yeah, we are hiring. We're hiring in sales and engineering. We actually just got into Y Combinator, so that's actually helped our hiring efforts a lot. And with industry expansion, there's a lot of things that we don't know. If there's industry experts, we'd love for them to come to us and tell us how Milestones can fit in their industry, and how like different complexities that they need. For example, a lot of our product works well with a linear based system, but we've come across clients that don't have quite this linear project, and how do we update clients that way? I'd love to chat about that. But yeah, in any industry expansion, we love to hear it. If you can go to our website, getmilestones.com, submit like a demo request there, you can see more about us there too.
And then for my last question, you covered it a little bit then, but just want to make sure we cover all the bases. If someone wanted to learn more about what you're doing or find you on the internet, where can they find you? What's your website one more time? Is there an email address or social media channels? How can someone connect with what you're doing?
Yeah, so we're all over. We're on Twitter and LinkedIn, and the easiest way to connect would just be to go to getmilestones.com, and then you can follow us on Twitter there, and you can see all our social handles at the bottom of the page as well. So
Cool. Well, thank you so much for coming on to the podcast. I really appreciate it.
thanks, Matt. It's been awesome.